Hi everyone, welcome to GemArts Mandala Workshop. My name is Sofia and today we'll be learning how to make a mandala. It's a great way of relaxation. This is part of GemArts Cutural Threads program, which allows people to do art activities to improve their health and well-being. So here we are, some stuff you might need. A compass, some pens, a rubber, some more coloured pens and a fine liner. Above all, you need a pencil. Make sure it's nice and sharp. You also need a ruler. Now when you get started, you can use a rectangular paper, but I've used a square. Just to show you how easy it is to draw your centre of focus. So draw a dot right in the middle. That is your centre of focus. Now, any lines that you draw today with your pencil, you can always rub out, so don't worry about it. So this is going to be my centre of focus, and I'm going to work my way out when I draw my mandala. To start with, I'm going to draw some guidelines. If you follow the worksheet, you'll be able to see what I mean. So I'm going to draw some lines from the top to the bottom in a vertical fashion, just making sure that all my distances to the centre are equal. It's easier if you have different lengths. So if you have like a bigger space and then a smaller space. And just remember, any mistakes you make, you can easily rub them out. So this part is all about working out what kind of sections you want and how you want your patterns to look like. So now that you've got your first line done, just turn your page over and draw another grid line, exactly the same. So you've got a little cross of dots. It's really important to take your time. This exercise is more about relaxing and having fun. The more you do this, the more easier it'll become. So there you go, little cross. And now we're going to draw a diagonal line. So just the same again. I've done 6 centimetres and 5 centimetres to the centre. You can do whatever distance you like. All you have to do is make sure they're the same to the centre point. It's fairly easy to add your own dots as you do more guidelines as well. So I'm just going to carefully add the last few dots. So I've got a little circle of dots. And now I'm going to use the compass. A good way of doing this is working from the centre outwards. So doing the small circle in the middle. And this is purely just to draw little circles that you might need. You can also use objects to do these circles as well, like some sellotape, or a tub, or a bowl, anything that you have lying around the house. You could even use a tub of paint, for example. Anything that's circular and easy to draw around. So just to show you how easy it is, you could use a little pot. Right. Right, so just going to screw this so it's a little bit smaller. Start to do some inner circles and then the outer circles. Just glide your compass around and just relax whilst you're doing it. So as you do these, you may notice that the dots are aligned or they're not aligned. This doesn't really matter. You can always go back and correct them. You can make your mandala as big as small as you like, just depending on your own mood. Right, so I've got my rough grid line here. I'm just going to neaten it up with my rubber. It's really easy to see where it might have gone a little bit wrong, but it's fine because I've used the compass as well. So just going to rub some of them out. So as you're going, just make sure all your rubber shavings are out of the way before you add some colour. And there you go. So I've got a basic grid line. Now I'm going to add some coloured pens. I've gone for coloured fine liners, but you can use whatever you'd like. So just to show you what you could use any highlighters you might have. You could use a canvas instead of the paper. You could paint it as well. There's no limit really. You could use Posca pens. I think Posca pens are quite popular on rocks as well, as quite a lot of people like to make mandalas on rocks. So I've started the centre of my mandala like a flower, just blooming outwards. Adding little dots in between the petals. You can also fill sections as you'd like, so I'm just colouring this part bright yellow. Now I'm just going to add a little pattern around the circle I did earlier, so it comes in handy. And then north, south, west and east as little triangles, and then drawing a little W in the centre is a good way of getting your triangles around in a circle. So I think I might want to add some teardrops, again using the north, east, south, west approach with 2 in the middle. And just seeing how you feel. You can always go back on these and add more little details. It's so soothing to draw a mandala, as you can always take your time and draw whatever patterns you fancy, drawing inspiration from nature or things around you. So I might draw some lines and I might draw little waves. I always like having lots of colour pens nearby. I find it helps doing different patterns and just helping me with my inspiration. So I'm going to add some bigger petals here with a purple and then do them on the inner edges as well. As you can see, our mandala is slowly being formed. We're just going to continue with the patterns that we feel like as we go along. So I've decided to add little pink flowers here as well, as it seems quite flower themed. Then adding some more zigzags. You can do any pattern that you like. So you could do waves, you could do circular ones, you could do little hexagons. I'm just adding some more dots, as quite a lot of my artwork does have lots and lots of dots. It's just like doing henna, really. It's doing lots of little patterns. Again, if you see any little gaps, just feel free to fill them in. A good way of doing little stars is just doing a little cross and then another cross the opposite direction. I'm just going to go back and add some more dots. And then adding a black fine liner, like a uniball fine liner, is a good idea to do it at the end. And also to use a permanent one, just in case you're using any paint or inks or anything like that. I'm just going to colour these sections in that I've lined out, because it's quite interesting to see which parts you can colour in and what effects you can get as well. You might also want to add some sequins or some stickers or any other little bits as well. So now I'm just going to rub away the pencil that we drew earlier. And I'm going to redraw that little circle in the middle because I quite liked it. So I'm just going to use a purple biro this time. If you are drawing a circle, just do it in sections. And there's our finished mandala. Thanks for watching. Check out the links in the description.